Hello, welcome back to Effie's Bubble. Here is, what's your name again, lady?
I lost my cue card. Hold up. Oh yeah, Tanisha Tucker. Yeah, that's me.
Yes, welcome back. And I have the honor today of whisking her away from her busy schedule.
Yes.
She's a
5 minutes
chef,
of sit down.
she's a caterer. And today I want us to talk about human resources and entrepreneurship. So, a little bit about yourself. Tell us who you are.
Well, I am Chef Tucker. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. Above all, I am female. If you couldn't tell. So, we have a lot of different hats that we wear. So, the tip of the iceberg is the mommy life, the wife life, the chef, the caterer, just take care of everything. I was born and raised in Jamaica, migrated here several years ago. And from there, I've lived in about 17 different, not countries, states, including New York, South Carolina, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and the list goes on. So I went to school in Johnson & Wales University.
All right, and I'm glad you're in Georgia now. We're glad to have you.
Well, thanks. Glad to be here. Because now I'm a peach.
Oh, you're so peachy.
I am. See, first I was a mango, y'all, because I'm Jamaican, but now it's been a couple of years now I'm an official peach.
Right. So, and what is the company you work for, or what's your company name, or your
Well, the company
entrepreneurship?
that I work for is called Dylan Tucker.
Right.
But my
LLC,
business, right? But my business is TNT Catering and Events, and also I have a spice line, Spice Life by Chef TNT. So those are the two things that I'm currently loving on.
Okay. And how would you measure your success for you and your accomplishments?
Well, as far as success goes, people are going to measure it differently. Some people think that if you have everything you want in life and you're unhappy, then you're not successful. And other people would think differently. For me, success, I feel like I've accomplished a lot of things in my life that I've set as goals. I owned my first home by the time I was 24. I was able to start my first business officially when I was 16. So I feel like as far as goals go, I've achieved a lot of my goals. When I came to the U.S., I literally came with a black and white composition book with things that I wanted to get checked off. My father told me, like, I don't think you've ever been a child. I'm like, facts. So
What scares you most about your company or your, how can I put it, your success or your goals? What's your biggest fear?
not trying something. Um, at the end of the day, that's what stops us from doing a lot of things. I'll start something and I'll be told, you have a lot of things on your plate right now. You're juggling too many things. That's not something you should start. But if that's a passion within me, I'm going to do the research. I'm going to put the work into it. I'm going to at least try it, So I don't have many fears because it's going to be successful or I'm going to try something new. So at the end of the day, I don't let fear, stop me from what I need to get accomplished.
Got it. Trying is
Maybe
better
sleep.
than nothing, right?
Look, maybe sleep, but who needs that? Who needs that?
So, in your company, or since you're the boss of TNT, how many staff members do you have?
Well, contractors, we have several contractors, but employees, we have 3.
Okay. Full time, part time?
Full-time, 3. Contractors, about 15, depending on what we're doing. We have several staff. I used to own a staffing agency, so I do have a lot of people that are dependable, responsible, that I keep in touch with. And for my larger events, these people know if I call on them, then, they stop what they're doing. We have a great work relationship. So, just try to keep our staff as happy as we are and make sure that everyone feels welcome and appreciated.
Great, that is good. So, what is your expectation for your staff, your crew?
If I tell you to do something, it's because I'm not afraid of doing it myself. I work side by side with everyone as far as if you are going to wash a pot, you better be the best pot washer there is. And I'm not afraid to get in that soap water with you and show you this is how I want the pot washed, or demo it. Anything that I'm going to ask of my staff is what I require of myself. You have to be respectful of everyone you come in contact with. People say, well, that person has a suit on, so I'll be nice to them.
Right.
No, the person sweeping the floor, you should be just as nice to them. You don't know when you're going to see that person again. You don't know if that person is someone that is going to be able to help you on another level. So just be respectful of everyone, holding yourself to a standard that's not negotiable.
Okay, and what does your staff expect from you?
Leadership, making sure the paycheck
Keeps coming.
doesn't bounce. Making sure they can take it to the bank. I mean, in all honesty, people don't work because they're like, oh, I'm just going to get up today and go, but at the end of the day, it's not, my goal is my company and my family and my growth with friends, family, business relationships, right? So, people that are working for you, they have their own goals. They have their own ambitions in life,
Right.
So you don't just treat people like, oh, you're disposable, because that's not what
And replaceable,
yeah,
right?
and replaceable. That's not a good place to be. So, I make sure that I treat my staff with respect. Anything that I'm asking them to do, I'm going to do it with them. I'm not afraid to do it. So they know if I say, I'm going to walk the walk and talk the talk. So that's something that I feel like it has become like a big standard.
Okay. So what are your company morals or policies, or what's your motto? I know it's hot. Nice, Georgia.
So for us, like I said before, we want to make sure that everyone is treated with respect. You're honest, and just because it doesn't matter what it is, what kind of event you're having. All of my guests, my customers, everyone that I take care of, it's just that you're taking care of them. They're a part of your family. They're a part of what you're doing. Whether you're going to see that person for one event or they're, repeat clients.
Right.
At the end of the day, everyone gets the same respect. Everyone gets the same level of treatment, and sometimes you're not going to be able to deal with the service or afford the service. That's for you to know. That's not for me to dictate, you're going to take this service, If it's something for you, great. If it's not, maybe we'll catch it another time. So, just making sure that everyone gets what they need when they need it.
So as a boss and CEO, how do you handle a call out from an employee when you have maybe an event that really, really depends on everybody, all hands on deck?
I like to be, my family tell me I'm very previous, so I'm one of those people, if I know I'm going to need 10 people, I'll staff for 13. I would rather have extra hands around than be short staffed. Let me knock on wood. My head is currently not available.
Let me try not
So, as far as call outs, I've been very, 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 very fortunate. The staff that we have right now, like I said, super dependable, super respectful. I am that person when I tell you to show up at 1:23, I literally mean 1:23, because at 1:30, we're walking in the building, we need to look pristine. If whatever you expect at your event, your wedding, your office party, that's the service you're going to give. And if your standards are low, then I don't need to deal with you. It's not, you don't represent me, you don't represent what I stand for, so that's just someone I don't really deal with. And you only get one chance to make a bad impression on me, and I'm not going to chance it again. So I've been very, very fortunate to have an extremely, extremely professional staff. But in the staffing agency, before, people were just not as dependable because everyone was using that as a stepping stone to their own goals. So at that point, you have to be more, you have to be prepared. It's like, okay, this event calls for 10 people. Why do you have 15 on staff? Because I guarantee a couple of them are not showing up. But at the end of the day, if you have one or two over, people know, you get paid for showing up. You get paid for a couple of hours. Even if you're not going to be used, you're an on-call person. So everyone has that understanding already.
Okay. So a little bit about the human resource part of it. So, how do you deal with staff coming to you with issues like another staff member did something to them, or they think you're being biased, or I didn't receive my full pay?
Well, everything, there should be a check and balance system. If some, first of all, we'll just pay. If someone comes to you and say, hey, you know what, I don't think I received enough money for this paycheck or whatever the case may be. At that point, let's go back over your hours. Did you actually work this day? Did you clock in? Did you clock out? Were you here early when you were told to be here at 2 o'clock? Did you come in at 1? And then that's on you because you were not told to come in at that time. So just fact checking, going back over everything, making sure that your suspicions are valid. Did it really happen? Did you get paid correctly? Did the week split at a certain point and one day is here and the rest of your pay is here? So just clarifying what it's supposed to be and where you're going to look for it, right? So the second part of that, if someone comes to you and it may not be valid to you, but to that employee it's very, very real. So you have to sit down and you have to say, hey, let's talk this through. What actually happened? How was it perceived? Then you go and you talk to the other party. What happened? How can I help? This is what happened. What is your take on it? And then if it's something that's a simple misunderstanding, you bring the two people to the table and you be a mediator. It's best to talk through things. But if it's something that is extremely serious and it needs to be kept confidential, then you have to take time to investigate. You don't want to put that person in a bad situation with the person that is offending them. So you want to make sure that they don't come in contact with each other while you're investigating. But everyone's concerns, everyone's statements, everyone's feelings, that's all valid. So it doesn't matter if it's real to you or not. You have to take everything as if it's life and death, and you have to investigate, figure it out, walk through it, talk through it, see what it looks like on all sides, your side, their side, and then the truth. So just working through the process, I would say.
Okay. So, as far as your staff members, how hard is it for them to approach you with any issues, or do they first go have a little meeting,
Do you
with
see
each
this
other?
iron wall? You see this iron?
Because a lot of, I mean, I've experienced a lot of people saying I cannot go to my human resources person because I think they don't like me or they won't listen to me. And it's a very bad feeling
That
when
is.
somebody
That
cannot
is.
listen to you
Yes.
because everybody feels, oh, I'm under that person. But you expect this person, yes, they're your boss per se, but
They have a boss too.
but
My boss
a
is
lot
my
of
son.
They
That's
don't
the
see it
answer to
that
him when
way.
I can't make money.
Because a lot of times somebody will be like, well, I don't think she likes me or he likes me, or they will not listen to my concerns. And
Well, you have to check your emotions at the door. That's a tough one because not everyone is going to be peachy and warm
Right.
and fuzzy with you. But I'm very transparent. If I don't like you, I just don't deal with you. I'm not going to be like, hey, nice to see you today. No, people know I'm very transparent. If we don't have a good relationship, then you're not going to be able to talk to me. If I say something, I am very, 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 very to the point some days. So I'm not for everyone, but at the end of the day, I am fair. I am an open book. I communicate with everyone. They know my expectations. I talk to them. I thank you. What can we do? How can I make it better? Are you okay with this? Did this work out well for you? I communicate well, but not everyone is everyone's cup of tea.
right.
But at the end of the day, I'm the head cook, the bottle washer, and everything in between. So you have to have a comfortable medium to where your staff can come to you and say, hey, you know what? We could have executed much better had we done it this way. You can't be the smartest person in your circle.
Right.
But yes, if you're a business person and you have a direction in which you want this event to go, you want your life to go, anything that you're doing, you have a direction. But at the end of the day, if you're seeing it from someone else's perspective sometimes, you may be like, good Lord, I did not think to try that. And maybe it'll shave 30 minutes off of service time. Maybe it'll add, more to the experience. So whenever we're done with events, I know most people are super tired at the end of the night. So like the next day, I'll call everybody if we don't get to meet back up. Hey, how was it for you? How did you think we did on service? Could we have done this better, that better? So there's a survey at the end to where, I can figure out next time. And if they see something immediately, they'll call and say, hey, chef, this happened, and I think we could fix it by doing this, this, and this. Perfect example, we were doing an event, and we left the sugar to caramelize the brulee. Actually, no, we left the gas to turn the brulee on. And I was just like, guacamole. I was like, because, it was like 200 people, and you're like, we need to start this an hour ahead and, be ready to go. And it just would not come on. It would not come on. And one of my staffers, she was like, chef, I could just make a quick caramel. I'm like, get on it. So we're sitting there, we're whisking. We spray the spoon down, we lay a little caramel on top. I mean, no one missed a beat. No one even knew that anything was off. But that's the thing when you have great communication and staff that trust you and believe in you.
Right.
Hey, this is how we can fix this. No problem. Let's just make it happen. So at the end of the day, just trust, dealing with people like they are human, like you would want your mother or your sister to be treated.
Yeah, that is a good, I guess place to be, because a lot of people feel like when somebody is your boss, I cannot go to them.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you differentiate, or how do you process leadership and management? What's the difference when it comes to your company?
Leadership and management, it's one and the same. Like, you have to be able to lead your people, get them where you want them to be. But at the same time, you have to manage expectations. You have to make sure that, hey, because if you have a team that's unhappy with your leadership, you can't manage them. Because at the end of the day, they're going to be like, you said go left, I feel like I should go right, So at the end of the day, it's just being a good leader, listening to your team, making sure that everyone is on the same page. Because at the end of the day, a team, one band, one sound, that really works, So being a good leader, following your own standards, just because I tell you to do it don't mean I'm going to do it. No. If it's good for you, it's good for me. So everyone follows the same standards. And I think that just goes above and beyond to make sure that your staff and your guests, whatever you're doing, people are just going to be satisfied with you, period.
So what advice would you give to anybody out there probably wondering, how do I reach out to my HR person? I'm having an issue and I'm scared to reach out. What would you tell them to do, or what steps would they need to take?
I'm not an HR professional, but just for me, on a personal note, when I go to somebody, it's cocked and loaded. Like, I'm not coming to you halfway. My ducks are in a row. I know dates, times, places, facts. I'm not coming to you and saying, I think she was late on May 2nd about 10 minutes. No, I'm coming to you with a list. Like, these facts, like, pull the videotape. This is the time. You have to, if you are going to bring an issue to the table, I'm not saying defend yourself,
right?
But you have to have your argument in line. And if you don't have evidence, take time and build some things. Don't set people up, but things that can prove your point, take notes. Be ready to communicate. And if you feel like that person that is your direct supervisor, you cannot talk to them, you cannot communicate with them, there must be someone over that person that you can talk to. You can't just be in a job. That's why a lot of people leave places, they leave jobs, because at the end of the day, they don't feel like they can communicate. And I'm not gonna risk my pension, I'm not gonna risk my vacation time. I want to keep, so I'll just transfer to another department, or I'll just leave the company. But that's not a way to deal with it. There must be someone you can talk to. But if it's someone that just does not have the ability to listen to you or fix your issues, make sure you go in with your ducks in a row. Facts are hard to dispute.
It's true.
If I have the facts, you have to listen to me. And if you don't, there are plenty of other people that will. And
Sure.
a lot of companies don't want that kind of heat, so they'll listen. You just
I mean,
people like to act like they're unapproachable, but they're not.
yeah, people do. I mean, and personally, being in the HR field myself, I say paper trail is everything.
Oh,
Paper trail is
absolutely.
everything.
Absolutely.
Emails, text messages, screenshots, you know,
Keep everything when
and
it comes to
CC
your job.
whoever you feel
need
needs
to.
to be on
Yep.
the email. That
Yep.
way, they cannot say, "Oh, I did not receive this," or,
Yep.
you missed a step, like you
Put
said.
a read note on there. Everything. Cover your tracks. Make sure you're looking out for you. And it's hard to say. People, a lot of times, people are not loyal. People want to do what's best or what's easy.
Right.
So loyalty comes with a price for some people. Some people, you can't tell them any wrong. Like, oh, Ruth? Oh no,
She
no
knew
matter what.
everything.
Yeah, you saw her run someone over, and they're like, oh no, not Ruth.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't her.
No.
I swear.
How
So
was
there's
it?
some people that will go to bat for you 100%, but sometimes that's not always a good thing because then they're not credible on certain issues. So just make sure you cover yourself though, because it is what it is at that point.
So, what motivates you?
Oh, geez. Besides the fact that I want to eat,
Yeah, that good food.
yikes.
I've tasted your cooking, your catering, your spices. Trust me, people, it's on point.
I did not get this way from the fast food places, y'all.
Let me see.
My
Let
real
me see
food.
at a glance. What?
What? I don't know. She's talking much, y'all.
Right.
The camera added about 30 pounds.
And I'm having a suntan.
Yeah, I know. I'm like so hot, y'all. I'm happy I'm not going through womenopause.
Right.
Because it's be hot. Anyway, motivation. See, I'm like Dory. I just, oh, come on back.
Well, you're not Dory the movie?
So, oh no. So motivation, my success, coming from Jamaica, my grandmother was a great cook, and this lady, it could be 11 o'clock at night, she would be in that kitchen banging pots and pans, but she was never a person that worked, but she was always a great mom. She was always a great, listener, a leader. She's about this big. She talks like this. Very, very soft. You would see her and you would just think she could not possibly match that ants. She carries herself in that manner. But being in that environment, being raised by my father, it's just the motivation is to be better. Nothing is wrong with where you came from, but to be better at the things that you saw growing up, to be a step ahead. Like my father used to tell us all the time, I just want you to graduate high school. If you get a trade after that or you get, whatever, he's like, I'm not killing you to be anything more than you. So I was like, Daddy, I have a plan. I'm going to college. What do you mean? Like, $96,000 later in scholarships. Deuces, Daddy, I'm out. I was in South Carolina for 4 years. The motivation is real. It's you. If you don't motivate you, I hear people say all the time, this person completes me. This person is my driving force.
That's amazing when people say that. I'd be like, what?
Nah, bro. Because if that person leaves, then what happens?
If it's stripped from you.
From you, then does
you?
a part of you leave with that person? My husband is a great addition to me, but he doesn't complete me. My son is a great motivator because that boy is like, I just want to do this and I want to do that. So at the end of the day, I motivate myself to go hard 100% because when I worked for corporate America, every single day, I was getting up crack of dawn. I was giving a full 100. I was giving a full 100 like all the time. So, I read the best quote the other day, don't get up and work 8 hours for somebody and come home and be too tired to work for you.
Word.
I'm not about that life. I'll get up at 3 a.m. and get to the shop and cracking on my pots and pans, and I'll, go do what I need to do in between here. And, my husband needs me to get this done. I got it done. I need to take my son to school. He needs to go to swim class. I need to go and check on Ruth. We need to go and get a video done. We're running businesses, and at the end of the day, you still have a life. You have to be the shopper, the launderer, the housekeeper, the mommy,
hats.
the wife,
No,
the
better yet,
advisor.
Jack of all trades.
Oh, dude, I don't know about Jack, but
Tanisha of all trades.
I'm on the trades,
Got it.
So you have to be able to take on things. Like, my motivation is just being successful in my own eyes, and making sure that my son understands what it is to be a success within himself. I see every day he tells me, I want to do these different things, and I want to try this. And do you think this would be a great idea? I don't care if it's picking up dirt. It's a great idea. Let's go do it. Because you never know what that's going to turn into,
Right.
Like, he sat there one day and he said, Mommy, this world is dirty. And I was like, huh? What you mean? Look at the dirt. Look at the pots. Look at the bottles. Like, we have to clean the world up. And I said, so.
At such a young age.
And I said, what are you going to do about that? He said, can you buy me a box of gloves? And I said, okay. Okay. And he goes, I'm going to keep them in my bag. And every day, I'm going to pick up all the trash that I see. And when I turn 6, which is in a year, y'all, I'm going to get a fleet of trucks, and I'm going to have people pick up
Amen to
trash
that.
with me. And I was like, yes, sir.
Environmentalist.
I was like, yes, sir. So, you never know what these kids are building in their mind. You have to nurture that. And you have to be motivated enough to see, okay, this could go somewhere. Take your life, make it an example for them. Kids, they learn what they see. Not what you
tell
teach.
them.
Look, church preach, quiet preach. Everybody just preach. So.
Okay, so as we wrap it up, what would you tell, I'm not being biased, y'all, but what would you tell the women out there who want to start something, a business or a side hustle? What would you tell them, or what would you advise them to do?
It's not a side hustle, If you think that you have something in your heart that you feel like, you know what, I could be 100 on this, like, but I don't know how to get it started. Find someone that can mentor you. If you don't want to take that much time to do it, like,
She's a good mentor too. She mentors me.
Look,
I mean, I know we're doing an interview, sorry for gloating, but she's a very good inspirator. She's mentored me and I mentor others, so we're a good
each
team.
one teach one.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, thank you for that, my dear. I
No
appreciate
bloating.
you. Look, I appreciate
Big head already.
Oh, yes, it is. Oh, thank God, my son.
But it's full of brains though.
Oh, Lord. Oh,
That's the best part.
My son's head is not as big. Thank you, Lord. But, so for someone out there that really wants to get in business, do your research. Know what you're getting into. Know what the cost, what it's going to cost you. A lot of times people start a business and they say, oh, I need a license. Oh, I need insurance. Oh, I need to get branding. Oh, wait, I can't just slap a label on it from Joe's and be like, this is mine. You have to do your research. What is it going to take for that brand to be recognized? Even if you're on this small platform, it's going to grow. It's going to get bigger. So make sure that you have your ducks in a row. If you're sitting here, it may be gigantic at this moment in your head, and you can't figure out, how do I make this into reality? One step at a time. Today, I'm going to find out about my license. Write that down. This is for today. And just stick to it. Like, I should really have stocks in pen, paper, pencil, note ads. Because seriously, like, I write everything down. And that's going to help you to be accountable. If you're not accountable, when you go to someone's job, someone's 9 to 5, and you sit there and you have a checklist. I need to get this accomplished. You know, my bonus depends on this. When you are there, you don't even answer your phone when your husband or your wife calls you, right?
Right.
Because you're so focused on getting their goals accomplished. Like, you should be relentless. This is what you should be doing at all times for you and your business. Stay focused, do your research, be dedicated. They're going to be naysayers about everything that you're doing, and someone that's going to know how to do it better than you. Listen, take what you can out of it. They're not going to be 100% right or 100% wrong.
Right.
But if one little morsel of that advice can help you to make a bigger impact on your life, just take it with a grain of salt.
All right, my people, you heard that. It was real. It's great. It's always great
It was real.
to
I'm melting in this Georgia
have
heat.
her. Yes, it's hot. See? But anyway, again, this is Effie's Bubble. That's Chef Tucker, TNT Catering,
Hello.
and Spice Life.
Yes.
Thank you for our viewers. Thank you for your time.
Yes.
If you're new, subscribe. Leave your comments down below. Whatever you want us to talk about, we will appreciate it. We take everything seriously.
Not too serious though, y'all, because I'm
I
a
mean,
little jokester.
Yeah, it's time to play. It's time to work. But
We do a little.
we listen
Most times.
and we brainstorm and a lot of things.
Yes.
Little and big.
Mm-hmm.
So let's turn every situation from bad to good, and always look at the what ifs and make them positive
Yeah.
and make it practical.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for your time. See you next time.
Thanks, guys. Like, subscribe, follow. Like my son would say, subscribe.
Yeah, and hit the like button.
Hit the like button, y'all. Thanks, guys. It's a pleasure. Till next time.
Bye.
Chef TNT.
And Effie's Bubble.
Yes.